After trapping Uriel Septim VII in a pocket of Oblivion where time nearly stood still with his powerful Staff of Chaos, Jagar Tharn then broke his staff into 8 pieces and hid them in different provinces in Tamriel, whilst under the guise of Uriel himself using his powerful ability of illusion magic. When Jagar began to put his plan into action is unclear. The first known step, however, though, was the theft of the Staff of Chaos itself, which had been stolen from the city of Mournhold in the year 376 of the Third Era. Now, historians had originally recorded that it was stolen by a bard named the Nightingale, a man who Queen Berenzia of Morrowind later recognised to be Tharn himself. And it's here that Tharn plotted for months to bring his plan into fruition. And when ready, finally, he requested to meet with the Emperor to discuss rumours of treachery, which is when he used his staff to imprison the Emperor. Now, during his time in Oblivion, Emperor Uriel Septim experienced nothing but inexplicable and haunting nightmares, where time moves slower in this alternate plane of existence. Thus, it would take centuries of suffering before he would eventually have died. Oblivion. What is Oblivion? The void of Oblivion, the plains of Oblivion, the waters of Oblivion are the planes of existence inhabited by the Daedra. And almost all known planes of Oblivion are ruled by one of the Daedra princes, and the plane takes the form reflective of the ruler's personality. Generally speaking, each plane of Oblivion is a unique distinct world with its own natural laws and native inhabitants. They range from the violent and inhospitable Deadlands to the paradise like Moonshadow. All different Daedric planes are known to exist, such as Azura's Moonshadow, described as an impossibly beautiful world made up of impossible shades and colours and perpetual twilight believed to be permanently sealed off from mortals. There's Boethia's Attribution Share, which is made up of vast mazes, gardens and labyrinths. The architecture is twisted and sinister in appearance, and betrayal and deception are a matter of natural law in this realm. There's Clavius File's Field of Regret, and it's here it tricks one into appearing as a serene countryside dotted with majestic merchant cities, fields and white clovers, woodlands, meadows, twisted foliage and old melted looking palaces. The sky is blue with cottony clouds and greenish grey patches, and the air smells of both perfume and rotten flesh. Hermaeus Mora's Apocrypha is a central repository for all knowledge in the entire universe. Said to resemble an infinite library, murky waters spout tentacles throughout the abyss. Its books are all identical, having black covers and no titles, but include knowledge normally forbidden to humans. Malakath's Ashpit, which is a barren and barely habitable wasteland. It's known to be one of the hardest realms to reach for mortals, and it's described as having no surface and no end. And of course there's Molag Bal's Cold Harbour. Molag Bal built this realm to resemble an apocalyptic Nirn, where familiar landmarks appear scorched and ruined. It's described as what Nirn would look like, following centuries of cataclysmic war. Mortals who wind up here usually end up in the realm's vast numerous slave pens, where the sky constantly burns, yet the whole realm is beyond freezing. And then we have the very well known Mehrunes Dagon's Deadlands. The Deadlands represent as close to the mortal vision of hell as any of the Oblivion planes. Ash storms and vast seas of lava make up the majority of this realm, which is populated by highly intelligent Dremora and many non-intelligent Daedric beings. Jagged rock formations divide the landscape into miniature valleys. People who fall into the cracks often never escape. These are but some of the realms of Oblivion, and it's all but confirmed that Jagar Tharn had dealings with Mehrunes Dagon, and he essentially rented out a pocket of Dagon's realm of Oblivion to stow away Emperor Uriel Septim and usurp the throne. For 10 years in Nirn, which would have moved much slower for Uriel in his pocket of Oblivion, he was subject to torment and suffering. Back in Tamriel, where Tharn sits on the throne, the Empire would begin to collapse. The Imperial Simulacrum. The Imperial Simulacrum was the official title for the events which took place when Jagar Tharn took the crown of Uriel Septim. In the book, A Pocket Guide to the Empire, the 3rd edition, All the Eras of Man, we're given an insight into how the Empire crumbled, old troubles resurfaced, forgotten grudges rekindled, and wars flared through Tamriel. In the east, Morrowind attacked Blackmarsh in the Arnesian War, and in the north, Skyrim attacked High Rock and Hammerfell in the War of the Bendir Mach. In the south, Elsewhere took arms against Valenwood in the 5-Year War. In the west, Valenwood also lost land to its old ally Somerset in the War of the Blue Divide. So it was clear that Tharn's neglect and mismanagement of Imperial affairs was the root cause of the notable decline in the Empire's economic prosperity during his 10-year reign, and little is actually known what Jagar thought to accomplish during this time. And to avoid suspicion, Tharn dismissed Uriel Septim's inner circle and replaced them with his loyal servants. So I think it's fair to say that during this time, all seemed well and truly negative. Poor Uriel was suffering in Oblivion, all the Tamriel was waging war against each other, and the Empire was crumbling. However, there was one flicker of hope. Of the many people who were reportedly held captive and executed for rousing suspicion against Jagar Tharn, one of which was his own apprentice, Raya Silmain. Silmain tried to warn the Elder Council of the discovery she had made, that Tharn was acting as Uriel Septim, but was executed before she could do so. However, following her execution when all hope had seemingly faded, death would not silence her. In today's video, we've explored Uriel Septim's suffering and torment, we've explored several planes of Oblivion, and the Imperial Simulacrum, and I really hope that in any way it was enjoyable or interesting. And as always, please feel free to leave any feedback in the comment section below. Until next time, see ya.